Today, you'll improve your fluency in English by reading and listening to English at the same time. We're going to read a news article together. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now, let's get started. First, I'll read the headline. The new 7 wonders of the world go beyond the bucket list. And here we have the 7 wonders. Have you seen any of these wonders? I have only seen 1 out of the 7. My husband has seen 2 out of the 7. What about you? Share your number in the comments, even if it's 0 out of 7. That's okay too. Share that in the comments. And maybe someone has seen 7 out of 7. That would be amazing. Okay, so let's review our headline. The new 7 wonders of the world go beyond the bucket list. Do you know what a bucket list is? A bucket list is a list of things you want to do before you die, because a very casual way to say that someone died is to say they kicked the bucket. So that's where this bucket list comes from. So you might see a bucket list that says write a book. You want to do that before you die. See the 7 wonders of the world. That could be on your bucket list. Travel is on a lot of people's bucket list. So that's what they mean by bucket list. So let's see how we can go beyond, do more than the standard see the 7 wonders. These wonders are so much more than just snappable. Snappable. Do you know where this comes from? Snap is when you take a picture, you snap. That would be the noise that the camera makes. Snap a picture. So snappable is the concept of just seeing the Colosseum, snapping a picture, taking a picture, and that's it. That's all you do at the Colosseum. So this article is saying you can do so much more than just take a picture. They're bursting with incredible things to do. Here, burst with is another way of saying filled with or packed with. And both of these mean to have a large amount of. And in this case, it's of incredible things to do. Now, the verb to burst is when something suddenly opens or breaks or explodes. For example, if you're filling a balloon with water, it will fill, but at some point, if you keep filling it, it will burst. It will explode, open, break. It will burst. So that's what they're saying here. They're bursting, exploding with incredible things to do. So let's review all these incredible things, and we're going to learn one specific thing with each wonder. So number 1, do more at the Great Wall of China. Outdoorsy types. An outdoorsy type is a type of person who really likes being outside in nature, but in a very rugged way. They like going camping. They like sleeping in a tent. They like being outside for multiple days or nights. So what about you? Are you an outdoorsy type? You can say, I'm outdoorsy. Or you can say, I'm not outdoorsy, because the opposite of outdoors is indoors. But to me, I'm indoorsy isn't really an expression that I'm familiar with. So I would just use it in the negative. Oh, I'm not outdoorsy. Now, this one actually describes me. I'm not outdoorsy. Although I love going hiking, I love going for walks, I love being outside, I do not like sleeping outside. I do not like cooking my dinner outside or bringing all my food with me and eating outside. So I like being outside for 3 or 4 hours and then coming back to a comfortable home, having a hot shower, sleeping in a comfortable bed, eating my food in my kitchen. That's what I like. So I would say I'm not outdoorsy, although I love nature. Outdoorsy types can consider camping overnight. See what I mean? To be outdoorsy doesn't mean you just like nature. It means you want to spend long periods of time, overnight, for example, camping. Camping overnight. On the wall's rugged, JForrest section. Now, rugged means that it is not overly comfortable. It's not perfect. So if you're on a trail, if you're going for a walk and you describe it as rugged, it means that there are a lot of rocks or a lot of holes compared to just walking on pavement, which is perfect, completely flat. So you could say, oh, the roads in my city are very rugged, or be careful when you drive to the beach because it's a rugged drive. So you can use that as an adjective. Before we move on, I'd love to tell you about LingQ, my personal favorite way to learn a language. LingQ is a language app that lets you learn from content you love. The reason why I use LingQ to learn languages and why I recommend you do too is because of the app's focus on input. On LingQ, you have access to thousands of hours of content that includes both audio and text, so you can both read and listen to English. Plus, you can import content directly from YouTube, Netflix, blogs, the news, and much more. For example, you know those news articles that I like to share in my videos? You can easily import them into LingQ and create your own interactive lessons. You'll be able to easily look up words and phrases, track your statistics, and level up your English ability. I first started using LingQ because the platform was co-founded by Steve Kaufman. He's a polyglot who speaks 20 languages. His method focuses on input, lots of reading and lots of listening. And that's why LingQ, the app Steve co-founded, is so effective. It makes reading and listening to content in my target language easier and more enjoyable. LingQ is available on both desktop and mobile, so you can practice your English anytime, anywhere. And LingQ is giving all JForrest English viewers a 35% discount off a 1-year premium plan if you upgrade using my coupon code. You'll also have access to my special LingQ shelf, which includes my favorite English articles and TV shows. I highly recommend LingQ because I know it will help you improve your English quickly and you'll have a lot of fun in the process. So use the link in the description to sign up now. Let's continue with our lesson. Number 2, explore Petra a little differently. Ditch traditional accommodation and try an overnight tour to experience the city bathed in a sunset glow. Okay, first let's talk about ditch traditional accommodation. When you ditch something, it means that you avoid it or ignore it. So you have your traditional accommodation, which would be a hotel. That's where most people stay. That's traditional. Now, if you ditch that, if you avoid it, then what would you do? Well, maybe like in our last one, camping, for example, would be non-traditional. So here they're saying an overnight tour. So again, most likely this would appeal to outdoorsy people, and perhaps you stay in a tent overnight. So you ditch traditional accommodation. Now, I certainly hope you won't ditch my next lesson, because if you ditch it, it means you ignore it. So you see my lesson and you don't watch it, so you ditch it, you ignore it. So put in the comments, I won't ditch it, it being my next lesson. I won't ditch it, Jennifer, because I definitely don't want you to ditch it. I promise it will be good. All right, so put that in the comments. So here, I just want to point out, notice my pronunciation, bathed, because the noun is bath, bath. For example, I took a bath. That's the noun, but the verb is bathe. I bathed. But it's far more common to use the noun and say I took a bath, not I bathed. But in this case, they're saying experience the city bathed in a sunset glow. So it means the sunset glow surrounds the entire city, just like if you are in a bath, the water surrounds you. So it's a very poetic way of saying that. Number 3, take the path less traveled at Machu Picchu. Why not skip the tour bus and walk the Inca Trail instead? So here, skip the tour bus, exact same meaning as ditch. So to avoid, ignore, or not use. So you could say, I won't skip it as well, meaning I won't skip your lesson. I won't avoid, ignore, or not use your lesson. So you could say either one. So that is skip. So you could say here, skip traditional accommodation. Why not ditch the tour bus? And you can change them. Why not skip the tour bus and walk the Inca Trail instead? And this is exactly what my husband did because he is far more outdoorsy. He went with 2 of his male friends because I didn't want to spend 3 days or 4 nights outside doing this. Although from his experience, it seems like I missed it because it sounds incredible. So he did this exact same thing. On this multi-day hike, you'll explore the jungle, spot local wildlife, and pass by less visited ruins. So if you spot local wildlife, it means you see it, but you're intentionally looking for it. So you're looking in the trees. Oh, look, I spotted a monkey. I spotted a parrot, or whatever the local life may be. To be honest, I don't remember my husband mentioning any local wildlife, so maybe he didn't spot any. Number 4, wake up early for Chichen Itza. I hope I'm pronouncing these correctly. A sunrise tour is a spectacular way to experience these ancient pyramids. Spectacular means very good, great, excellent, spectacular. So it's a nice adjective to have in your vocabulary, especially when you want to describe scenery or nature, but you could also use it to describe a performance. That movie was spectacular. Jennifer, your lesson was spectacular. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. So especially or very great. Not an early bird. So notice the question mark, not an early bird if you're not an early bird. So an early bird is someone who likes getting up early. So if you are not an early bird, it means you wouldn't want to go on this sunrise tour. Now, do you know what the opposite of an early bird is? So someone who really likes staying up late at night. Do you know what that is? That person would be a night owl. So what about you? You can say, I'm an early bird if you really like waking up early, or I'm a night owl if you really like staying up late at night. So share your answer in the comments. And do you know what my preference is? What do you think? Do you think I'm an early bird or a night owl? I am definitely an early bird. I love waking up early and enjoying the mornings. Catch the evening light and sound spectacular. Okay, so this is if you're not an early bird. So you don't want to do this sunrise tour because you're not an early bird. What can you do? You can catch the evening light and sound spectacular. So if you catch a show, this is a show because spectacular is another word for an event or performance. It's the same noun, spectacular. Although don't confuse this with a spectacular way, which means a very great way, an especially great way. In this case, this is a noun, which means an event or a performance. The light and sound show, the light and sound event, the light and sound spectacular. And when you catch a show, it means you simply go to the show. So not an early bird, catch the evening light and sound spectacular, where pyrotechnics, this is just a word that means fireworks and other explosives. I guess it's just a broader category and includes fireworks and other things. But this is not very common. It would mainly just be where fireworks light up the pyramids. Light up means it causes it to be light. It illuminates, light up the pyramids. That sounds pretty awesome. Let's continue. Number 5, get the Colosseum all to yourself. So this is the one wonder that I've seen, and this is the second wonder that my husband has seen because we went together. But I did not get the Colosseum all to myself. I was on a tour, and there were many people there. Dig a little deeper, quite literally, into the Colosseum's history when you visit its secret underground chambers. Ooh, I did not know there were secret underground chambers, and my tour guide did not mention secret underground chambers either. So dig a little deeper. Notice how they say quite literally. Literally means you literally dig and you go deeper. But to dig deeper is an expression which means you do more research, more investigation to try to find additional information. So let's say you're trying to research a topic and you find some information and your classmate, your professor says, that's great, but you need to dig a little deeper. You need to find more information. So clearly, I should have dug a little deeper. I should have done more research into the Colosseum because I had no idea there were secret underground chambers. Let's move on to number 6, wake up with the Taj Mahal. So this sounds like it will appeal to early birds, but maybe not to night owls. An early morning guided tour ensures you'll see the Taj Mahal while its grounds are near empty. So again, the purpose here is to wake up early so you can avoid, you can ditch the crowds, you can skip the crowds. So wake up with the Taj Mahal. So I understand this is something you do early in the morning. And if it's near empty, they're adding near to say it's not going to be 100% empty. But what's near empty? 10%, 20% empty. So that implies that 80% of the regular crowd won't be there. So it will be near empty. Now here, if you don't know this expression, it's very important for tourism purposes, a guided tour. A guided tour is a tour that you do with a tour guide. So not on your own, you're with a tour guide. And usually you can skip lines or see certain things that you normally wouldn't be able to do. And finally, number 7, see Christ the Redeemer from a new perspective. For a different but equally impressive view of the statue. Okay, so notice here we have these 2 quotations. It means that the information in the middle can be deleted from the sentence and it will still be grammatically correct, and it's there to add additional information. Now, it's important to know this because if you had a verb after, the verb would be conjugated with whatever came before the first comma, not the last thing here. But we don't have a verb here. So this you can simply get rid of, and the sentence would be, for a different view of the statue, take a guided sunset sailboat trip in Rio's Guanabara Bay. But they're giving some additional information, but equally impressive. So by saying equally impressive, they're letting you know that you're not missing anything by doing the sunset sailboat trip instead of the traditional climb up the statue. So for a different but equally impressive view of the statue, take a guided sunset sailboat trip. Woo, sunset sailboat trip. So here, a guided means, of course, you're not renting a sailboat on your own and navigating on your own, although I'm sure some people have the skill and ability to do that, but generally you don't. So it's guided. There is a tour guide with you. A guided sunset sailboat trip. So this is a trip that takes place at sunset. So here sunset is being used as an adjective to describe what type of sailboat trip. So if you're looking at options, you would see a sunrise sailboat trip perhaps and a sunset sailboat trip in Rio's Guanabara Bay. So that's a different but equally impressive view of the statue. And that's the end of the article. So what I'll do now is I'll read the article from start to finish, and this time you can focus on my pronunciation. So let's do that now. The new 7 wonders of the world go beyond the bucket list. These wonders are so much more than just snappable. They're bursting with incredible things to do. Number 1, do more at the Great Wall of China. Outdoorsy types can consider camping overnight on the wall's rugged Jiangkou section. Number 2, explore Petra a little differently. Ditch traditional accommodation and try an overnight tour to experience the city bathed in a sunset glow. Number 3, take the path less traveled at Machu Picchu. Why not skip the tour bus and walk the Inca Trail instead? On this multi-day hike, you'll explore the jungle, spot local wildlife, and pass by less visited ruins. Number 4, wake up early for Chichen Itza. A sunrise tour is a spectacular way to experience these ancient pyramids. Not an early bird? Catch the evening light and sound spectacular, where pyrotechnics light up the pyramids. Number 5, get the Colosseum all to yourself. Dig a little deeper, quite literally, into the Colosseum's history when you visit its secret underground chambers. Number 6, wake up with the Taj Mahal. An early morning guided tour ensures you'll see the Taj Mahal while its grounds are near empty. Number 7, see Christ the Redeemer from a new perspective. For a different but equally impressive view of the statue, take a guided sunset sailboat trip in Rio's Guanabara Bay. So did you enjoy this lesson? Do you want me to make more lessons where we review interesting articles together? If you do, then put 7 wonders in the comments below. And of course, make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And remember that Link is giving you an amazing 35% discount off a 1-year premium plan. I know you'll love using Link because it will help you take your fluency to the next level. You can click here to get started now, or you can look in the description for the link.